This time on Road and Race, we test out how our new sports suspension and track tyres perform at the track.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Road and Race. Gary, what are we up to this week?
Hello, well this week, the Clio, Nicole, she's got a fresh set of boots, so fresh set of tyres,
Yes.
some OZ Superturismo wheels and some Grams Sport lowering springs.
So we're here today to test how they get on at the track.
Yes, to see if it makes a difference to the dire handling that we've been experiencing in the past.
Yep.
Chronic understeer and extreme tyre flex.
So to keep things fair, we should really fit the evergreen tyres back on the car.
Neil loves the evergreens. I think he's got an emotional attachment to the evergreens.
I don't like the evergreens, but I'm very scientific.
Yeah, well unfortunately, due to health and safety issues, and having no safety net in the car, I haven't been able to bring them. So unfortunately the evergreens have been burnt and they're no longer going to return. No, I still have them, but I haven't been able to bring them today, so
Okay.
sorry Neil.
So let's take a closer look at all the new stuff. First up, we've fitted 16-inch Superturismo wheels from OZ Racing. Brand new, they'd cost about £600, but we bought them second-hand for £175. Secondly, we have Kumho's V70A tyres in a 205/45 size. These are designed primarily for track use, but are road legal in the UK. They come in a choice of 4 compounds ranging from super soft to hard, but we've opted for the medium compound. And finally, we've firmed up the suspension by fitting the Grams Sport springs from Kam Racing. So with all these improvements, would I be able to beat Gary's previous fastest lap time?
So this is my set of hot laps. Gary's a much better driver than me, I'll admit it, but my pride won't let me lose. So it's going to be extra brave today. Whoa, I've lost it. The combination of these Grams Sport springs and the Kumho tyres have really transformed this car. You can really now get a lot of lean into the car. There's almost no body roll. I don't know if you can see here though, the car doesn't roll at all. I've never fitted sport springs to a car before, and I was always a bit dubious about how well they could perform because they are a very cheap kind of upgrade. But you know, if you can't afford to go for the full coilover set immediately, these are really good. You know, you get a lot of stiffness and a lot more kind of confidence with the car. I should talk about the Kumho tyres. You can tell immediately it's a lot more track focused. The sidewall is so much firmer. Again, gives you a lot more confidence in the corners, much less roll. I've not used Kumho tyres before. Very familiar with Michelin, Pirelli, Bridgestones, and in the dry, these have got bags of grip, absolute bags of grip. I would say these are at least comparable to, you know, Michelin Pilot Sport 2s or the Super Sports. So much grip. I mean, so much understeer has been eliminated from last week. But really now chuck this car in. Really fun. But like everything on a project car, as soon as you fix one thing, another problem raises its head. And that is the problem with the seats. I'm just being thrown around too much. Really need to get some bucket seats in here now. Maybe a harness, that'd be great. I can't not brake there. Gary doesn't brake there, I brake there. That felt good. I'm not sure how fast it was, but that's as fast as I can go.
So here's a roundup of the Clio's lap times so far. Last time, after we stripped the weight and improved the brakes, Gary was able to do a lap time of 1:26. This time with a better suspension and track tyres, could I do any better?
Hot lap session.
I got one good one right at the end.
Yes.
But I don't think I'm going to beat you.
Lap 2, you moved over for everybody, including a Rover 25, I think, and really old.
Yeah, but I was waiting for the tyres to get the temperature.
Lap 4, you got a 132.38, and lap 5, you got a 133.54, and then you came in on lap 6. It looks like your times are going to be on average between 132 133.
Yeah, maybe I need some tuition.
I'll take you out and I'll show you the race.
I don't understand how you get 126.
I don't know. Well, I just don't know. Come out with me.
That's 7 seconds quicker. 7 seconds.
That was a good song by Yusa Noir and
7 seconds away.
Unichera, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I suppose I need to go out.
And I was cheating massively.
You were cheating? Why?
Because the 2 chicanes aren't really chicanes anymore.
I think most of the cones there have gone on holiday, haven't they?
so yeah, I wasn't slowing down that much. I thought I'll definitely beat Gary. No.
There was a Mazda RX-8 that came back with a cone underneath his car.
You've got to beat 126.
Yeah, 126. Yeah.
I wasn't even able to beat you on the Evergreens.
You know,
it's more fun though, this car.
Yeah. It's not all about the timing, is it? It's about having fun, and that's what we got the car for. Ultimately, was to have fun.
Yeah, but I would like to beat you.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to take some secret track tuition.
You're going to be stealing the car from mine.
Yeah. I'm changing the fluids, pounding around the track.
But no, yeah. So I think I'll have a go, get sort of a few laps in, and see what I can do. It was much more stable, much flatter, but in general, this car feels much better. The body roll, I mean, it's so flat into the corners now, and there's so much grip coming out of the corners, which was a real hindrance on the old Evergreen tyres. We can now hold a much faster racing line, particularly on this left-hander here. You used to get so much understeer. So much more grip though. It really is amazing. Oh, and the back end as well. The back end isn't coming out. It's actually holding quite well. Much more fun. It's the traction out the corners as well. Much more traction out the corners. The steering on this car though, it does feel a little bit, it doesn't feel very connected, so it's definitely something we've got to work on. It's just the front of the car just feels a little bit floaty and I don't like it. I'm having great fun though. Oh, I love this little car.
Gary's previous fastest time was a 1:26.
You've just been out for your hot laps.
That was intense. That was awesome.
Did it feel much quicker to you?
It did, yeah. Because there was a couple of corners that I've kind of got a better line for as well. The car being as how it is, you know, makes me able to do that. Anyway, the time.
Let's do your times then.
Yeah.
1:23.
Oh yes, yes.
0.93.
Oh.
So almost a 1:24.
Wow. So that's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Off
yeah.
1:26.
And your fastest time was a 1:23.47.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to have that smug face again.
Well, that's 9 seconds quicker than me. How can this be? How can this be? How can this be?
When I'm timing, I'm not cheating you, I swear.
You are, yeah.
And you've looked at your V-Box times as well.
Yeah. If you come at me, maybe you can point out what I'm doing wrong.
I don't know.
Some intuition.
I'm not very good at doing that though. I just drive, and so it'd be best if you just watched what I do.
Have you actually had any tuition?
No.
Ever? You've done a lot of karting though.
I've done a lot of karting, but no tuition. I just like to go fast.
You did do police driving though.
Police response training, but that was more like system of car control, like roadcraft and stuff, not necessarily track. They teach you to take the line of least resistance, so you know, trimming roundabouts and stuff like that. But essentially, you want to take the shortest route possible, don't you, on a racetrack? So that's what I try and do. Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy with that. 1:23.35. So that's definitely an improvement on the 1:26.
2 seconds for the springs and the tyres.
Yeah.
So here's this week's essential wheel and tyre stats. The original Renault Sport wheels and Evergreen tyres weighed 17.7 kilograms, whilst the Superturismos with the Kumhos came in at exactly 17.7 kilos also. So whilst no weight saving there, we do now have an option to put rain tyres on the Renault Sport wheels in case the next track day is wet. In regards to tyre wear, the V70As start with about 5.5mm on the outer grooves and about 3.3mm on the centre. After one track day, the rears were down to 3.5 on the outer and 2mm on the inner. The front tyres were left with about 3.5mm on the outer and 1.8 on the centre. Finally, for those of you who, like me, wonder how hot the brake disc gets after a hard track session, the front discs were measured at around 225 degrees centigrade and the rears were around 80 degrees centigrade.
That's another track day over with. How do you think it went, Gary?
Yep, very well. Car felt good, planted, much more traction out the corners,
Much
with
more
tyres,
capable, much more capable.
less body roll, wasn't nosediving into the corners, there was no tyre flex because they're very solid, these tyres. Overall, yeah, 100 times better.
I would say for the money we've spent now, less than maybe £1,000, we've got a very, very sorted car. If you just did just this, I think you'd be very happy.
Exactly, and it's not a lot of work really, is it, that we've done?
No.
I mean, we've changed the brakes, wheels, tyres, stripped the interior, a new exhaust and suspension.
Saying that though, there are always improvements.
There are always improvements,
So
yeah.
if you've got a top 3 now to do next, what would you want to do?
You want me to reel out 3 modifications?
Yeah, like do you think are the next biggies?
Seats,
Agreed.
because the seats are heavy, they're big, they're just horrible.
And they don't hold you.
No, they don't hold you
They
at
don't
all.
hold you, so you're kind of having to support yourself as you go around the corner.
You rattle around, yeah. Steering wheel, because it's about this big.
It's enormous, isn't
It's
it?
like piloting some form of cruise ship. If I wanted to be a cruise ship captain, I would have been. So that's 2.
Yeah,
3. 3. Maybe the anti-roll bar?
maybe. And obviously we'll, over the Christmas break, we'll do some of the boring maintenance tasks like changing all the fluids, because that's not been done. There's a few fixes to do for your exhaust, engine mounts, a few little bits and bobs which will probably just roll into kind of one quick kind of maintenance show.
Yeah, just do those over, like you say, over the break and get the oil change and stuff like that. Get a running sweet.
So that's all from me today then.
And that's all from me, and all from Nicole, and all from my newly acquired ginger beard.
Obviously the fast left-hander and at the bottom of the where I had the brakes and probably slow to 60 while you're still going at 80 miles an hour.
Oh, was it 80 around there?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Do you not think, what if I lose control and end up in in that massive bank?
No. If you start thinking that, you start slowing down.